suspects at the top of the leaderboard, but it's a bit of a jumble just below. It's day 5, draw 12 here at the USA Curling 2024 Men's and Women's National Championship. I'm Dean Gemmel, and I'm joined this morning by Stevie Berklid.
How's it going, Dean?
It's good, Stevie. As we have a matchup between Nick Connolly and Danny Casper, two teams coming into this who need a win here. Connolly absolutely needs a win. Casper came into this probably expecting to be better than 2 and 3 at this point, but he needs a win to stay in the mix. And Stevie, what do you expect to see out there today?
Well, Danny's coming off 2 losses to the top teams at the top of the standings. I expect them to kind of, come into this game and really try to get their confidence back. They're a team that plays really well with that confidence, and right now it's a little bit shaken. So I expect them to come out here and be pretty aggressive early and try to get on the board and build some momentum right at the start of the game.
Here's a look at the playoff format we use at the Men's and Women's National Championships. Curlers will know it as the Page playoff. Also, if you didn't know this, Stevie, used by Aussie Rules Football and Women's Softball, I think, use the Page. But
I think it's a great system.
I do too. In the Page format, the first place team plays the second place team. The third place team plays the fourth place team. The winner of the 1-2 game advances directly to the final. The loser of the 1-2 game drops down to play the winner of the 3-4 game. The loser of the 3-4 game is eliminated. So it essentially gives the teams that finish at the very top of the standings an extra game in the playoffs. So that's pretty critical. Otherwise, you have to run through, win 3 games in a row to win the championship. Always tough at this level. Look at the teams. Nick Connolly, Evan Workin, Chris Bond, and Nate Podol. That's the team that Danny Casper will face. Casper's team, there they are, Nate Perry, Chris Bond. Well, they're up and they're gone, but we're good. We'll keep moving here. Chase Sinnott at lead for Danny Casper, Ben Richardson, Luke Violette, and Danny Casper at skip. This is a young team, Stevie, that's had a pretty successful season. They won a Tier 2 Grand Slam that qualified them for the last Grand Slam. And they've had some signature wins this year, which I think has been exciting for them as a team. And I believe they came into this, expecting to do pretty well. There's the other games on the other sheets. Schuster, he's taking on the U.S. Junior National Champion Wes Wendling. Schuster comes into this 5-0 undefeated. Corey Dropkin, he's at 4-1. He's up against winless Rich Runin. Nick Connolly, Danny Casper, that's our feature game. And Ethan Sampson takes on Scott Dunham. They're both in the mix over on sheet D. So Casper's team, Stevie, I don't know if you followed them much this year. I do know you have some roots in Seattle and Alaska, but you know Luke Violette, you know Ben Richardson. On the other side, you also know Nick Connolly, Chris Bond. So what do you see out of this young team so far this year?
Well, I've been really impressed with the way that this team has come together. Last year was kind of their coming out party, and they made the finals of Nationals. I believe they were the 1 seed after the round robin, and they lost to John in the final, but they really cemented their place in U.S. curling, and I think that the future is really bright if this is what we've got coming.
Yes, I've been an exciting team to watch this year. This is Chase Sinnott. He throws lead rocks on the Casper team, and you'll see him move into the rings when Skip Casper throws the last 2.
Yeah, slightly unconventional, lineup from the team, but they do what works for them. And Chase is a really good mind, and so it makes a lot of sense to have him as a vice.
Connolly wins the hammer in the draw shot challenge to kick things off here, or last shot draw. And this is his lead, Nate Perry from Colorado. And he'll try to come around this guard that Chase Sinnott went up a little further off the center line than he would have liked.
Line.
I think you're going to see a pretty aggressive game from Nick as well. I was talking to these guys yesterday, and they kind of feel like nothing to lose at this point. They're just going to go for it. And Chris and Nick both played with me for a couple of years, and that's kind of a style that I'm known for. And so they're very comfortable playing, with a lot of rocks in play and super aggressive. And Nick loves those angle run backs and, superhero crazy shots at the end.
We should see lots of rocks in play on both sides. Casper, as you said, Casper likes to play with a lot of rocks in play as well. So we'll look for a good one here. Advantage Connolly out of the start here, though. He's got essentially a corner guard.
Line's good. Close for line. Easy.
Yeah, really important for, from Casper's perspective to make sure that first one gets on the center line.
Lock it on. Straight.
Otherwise, you're going to be doing exactly what you said. You're going to be playing to the
14-8.
wings, and
Just
you know
do
now
it.
Nick is always going to have that outturn bail
Keep going.
draw
straight.
at the end, and a pretty good opportunity
Oh my
to
God,
develop
what
a deuce
shot.
You like open?
Sounds like they're trying to bring some positive energy out there in Team Casper. It is a nice shot, but that's a very enthusiastic reaction to an early corner freeze.
Yeah, we love the exaggeration of positivity.
Yes, fake positivity. Sometimes you got to fake it till you make it,
That's
Stevie.
right. Well, and I think, you know, I don't know if they're just joking around or if that was a conscious decision to joke around, because, you know, they had a pretty heartbreaking loss to John Schuster, not yesterday, but the night before that, and then they kind of just didn't really play well against Corey yesterday, and so they really need to build some momentum and build some of that positivity back.
Yeah, they really controlled the first half of the
Is this
game
fully
against
buried?
Schuster, and it was a tale of two halves because the second it was all Schuster.
Yeah. Danny even had a shot to
Go up 7-2.
essentially put the game away, and you know, he wasn't able to make it, and so that it started unraveling from there. So I really, whether or not it was a conscious decision, I do like to see that, you know, enthusiastic
Wait,
positivity from the
Yep.
team,
Yep.
trying to
Clean.
keep it light and
9-2.
not,
Yep.
you know, as a young
9-3.
team, you're really
Hard.
susceptible to those
Whoa.
emotional swings in a
Girl.
game until you've been around for a long,
Pull
long
it a little
time,
bit.
and these guys are
Good throw, Ben.
starting to get to that point, but I like their approach of positivity.
Fake or not, they'll take it. So Connolly lies shot. Casper lies second and third.
Yeah, so Nick's first come around that ended up in the top 8 foot, the nice thing about that shot for him is, you know, when Danny does freeze on it, he's not covering very much of the scoring area, so Nick is able to split the rings and just play a relatively risk-free attempt at a deuce here. You know, Casper would love to be playing around that guard. That's their best opportunity to congest things, but you know, the first come around ended up high enough that Nick has a lot of space to work with for his second point. Even if he rolls out or, you know, ends up in not a great position here, there's not a ton that Casper can
Take
do.
this and touch it.
Lefty
You might
Chris
be able to
Bond
make the right
does
double.
not quite get the roll that he
Really
would
hard.
like. He was
Yeah.
trying to roll big
There's
under
a
that
couple
stagger,
options.
which would have been great.
You
Let's hear
can
what Danny
maybe
thinks the
mix it.
options are.
You can touch this over. It's pretty flat. I think we're just trying to move this a little bit. Throw it hard.
So Ben Richardson, who throws big weight easily, will be asked to do just that. Casper would like to just jiggle these a little bit.
Yeah, not trying to make the double here, but just kind of reposition that angle
Whoa.
so that he can actually get access to the red shot stone later.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if Ben came out a little tight or if it curled more than they expected, but not the result they wanted.
Yeah, that does. You see that on a lot of first end hits on the wing. There's that just little extra pebble out there, and they do tend to catch a little bit more curl in the first end of these games.
T-line. Gotta go a little. Line's tight. Yep. Gotta go.
So now Connolly going to go right back to trying to split the rings. Just keep things separated, draw play away from that center guard.
We're over curling. Okay.
Coming in a little bit heavy, obviously, you know, you would love to see that in the 8 foot, but it is sitting over there on the wing, ready to be counted if this yellow stone ever leaves play.
Probably better than leaving it high like the first one, but
Right. So now we'll see the run back from Luke.
9-8.
big
Whoa.
shot here.
Whoa. Yep. Yep.
Yes, hard.
Whoa. Whoa.
Hard
Whoa.
for straight.
Curl,
They think it's
curl,
close.
curl.
Now
Whoa,
is it
whoa,
going
whoa.
to curl enough?
Roll it. Oh, yeah, go for that. Go, go, go. Yes, 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 yes. Good.
Good.
So I think he's
What'd you
moved
get?
it just far enough to lie 2. Probably would have.
Really would have wanted to kill that red stone just to kind of eliminate some risk, because now if Connolly, you know, hits this yellow one, sits shot rock, and Luke ever rolls out on his next one, the yellow one at the top of the 12-foot is available to sit 3 for Connolly. So
Right, and the yellow starts to get lonely in the rings with 3 reds around it.
You don't want to leave those things hanging around when the other team has the hammer.
Said, still an opportunity here for a roll or maybe even a double in a roll.
I'd rather not clump them.
You could play this.
I was thinking that.
Normal.
Because the double could happen.
I like this decision to kind of
Normal, did he call?
hit and roll to the open side. If you ever try to hit and roll under, you might end up in a spot that leaves Connolly a double. As it is, if you roll to the wing over here, you're definitely going to be sitting 2, and there's no double available for Connolly, so the force is on that way.
9-8.
Clean. Yep. Whoa, whoa. Off, 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 off.
Good.
It just hangs around. Well
Just good
played.
enough.
More.
Seems to be an aggressive jocularity out there on the ice for Team Casper this morning. I don't know if I've ever said that in my life before, aggressive jocularity, but that's what I'm sensing.
Yeah, I'm going to need to pull out the dictionary for that one.
Yeah. Evan working with his second stone, first end.
Easy. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Evan does some coaching of a young U18 team out in North Dakota.
Nice, good for him.
Come on. What the hell?
That's got to move. He doesn't like that.
What are you doing? Okay. It's way too much.
Not particularly pleased with a lot of things on that shot.
Yeah, don't love that, but again, they're still second and third.
And if he tries to go
Move, you're correct. Did move it far enough to be second and third, but certainly open now for Casper.
Would have loved to save the shooter, but you know, because those 2 red stones are where they are, Danny is heavily considering removing one of them and just making sure that 3 never, ever, ever comes into play here.
I don't mind control, actually.
Sure. Yeah, time 5.
They're stayed kind of straight. They threw a little bit more weight than I'm going to throw, but
Yeah. I think this is good room for this spot, though.
okay.
So Casper talks that through after getting a read on
Nose are a little
Workins
roll
first.
Nose or a little roll in.
It's always nice to be the
Control
second
here.
one down a path.
They're stayed pretty straight. They threw it harder than I'm going to throw it, but even then.
So based on that throw by Evan Workin, Danny Casper not thinking this will curl that much. Casper, his first in the first
Clean.
end.
Yep, curl. Clean. Yep.
Hard.
Yes.
Hard.
She's
Hard.
moving.
Hard. 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 Good, good, good.
Well read by
10-3.
Chase to make sure that they get the sweep before it starts to overcurl.
Yeah, and a good read on the ice. They pretty much reacted the way they thought. I'm sure whenever you do that, there's always that moment where you're concerned it will curl.
Right. Well, especially like you mentioned, Danny said he was going to bring the weight down a little bit, right? And that's the moment where it starts to curl. This ice tends to be very sensitive to weight for curl. You throw something like an 11-second hit versus a 12-second hit, and you're going to end up with anywhere from 3 to 12 inches more curl. And that's, you know, when you make that adjustment, you want to make the softer weight hits because your sweepers can control things a little bit more. But if your read is based on one piece of information, you want to be really careful when you change that variable.
Connolly facing 2 will try to draw behind that guard with his first, try to create a skip's deuce.
Oh, room. Okay. Oh, we're out. Lot of room. Easy. Ton of room. Got room.
Looked a little inside out to me.
Got a curl. Tons of room. Let it curl.
You're going to see that a lot
Let
from
it
Nick.
curl. Let it curl.
That is his basic throw.
13-4. Whoa, we're already back. Already back.
See how far that slides.
As long as it's shot rock.
We gotta just, control
Yeah, you have almost all of it.
right there.
It is just shot, but
Same weight as your last one.
obviously the
Okay.
force is on here.
Control again.
Casper will try to hit and stick back there. Or hit and roll out wouldn't be bad either.
No, he's already sitting the 2, so the force is definitely on. I would be playing this pretty aggressively if I were them, to roll away from where the position of the stone currently is, like try to roll to the other side of the center line, so that I don't end up leaving backing for Nick's inevitable draw against the force. If you stay right there, you know, Nick can miss it heavy and still get his one. If you roll away and Nick's heavy, you might steal 2 points.
Casper's last in the first end.
Clean.
Looks like they're playing just about to nose, not playing as aggressive. Of course, there's also the play to sort of goad somebody into backing, and they fire it by.
That does happen.
I don't want to deal with those guards.
All right, last shot, first end, Team Connolly facing 3. Nick Connolly needs to draw full 8 foot
Okay, give me less ice. Chris wants
and a
less.
bit. There's the little less ice call.
A slight adjustment from the way that their first one traveled.
Not a big ad.
Line's good.
Not a big ad.
Line's similar.
I dropped it kind of.
Always straight. Where are we at?
Rushers feel pretty good about it, I think, on and off.
Yeah,
We're on the back.
not going nuts on this one.
We're good. Nice throw, Nick. Good job, guys.
And that will be 1 for Connolly. They'll take a 1-0 lead after the first end. We'll be right back with the second in just a moment.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
We're back, second end, 2024 Men's and Women's National Championship. Not a lot to update quite yet, but our game, there you see, 1-0. Connolly over Casper. It was a blank between Dropkin and Ruinen, and a blank between Schuster and Wendling. Scott Dunham scored an early 2 against Ethan Sampson. Dunham had hammer in the first over there.
Really light clean. Just
We'll
heavy,
definitely be
just heavy.
keeping an eye on all
Sit
these
down, baby.
standings jumblings that are happening.
All right. Good job, buddy.
The standings jumblings.
Good.
So just touching center, the guard goes
Yeah,
up,
C-pap.
and Casper asks his lead, Chase Sinnott, to draw top 8. Chase, another product of the Broomstones Curling Club in Wayland, Massachusetts.
Medium.
Line's good.
A little surprised not to see the corner
Line's good.
guard from Danny here.
Line's good. Line's good.
This is a little bit more of the conservative approach. You know, the typical sequencing is the center guard, and then you come under, freeze, and then you play a run
Keep it
back and try to
moving.
clear it up.
Keep going. Keep going.
But they're not going to be generating a deuce on the wings very often with this approach.
Well, they did want that to be
I think
at
it's
least
in,
top
but I don't
8.
wanna chase it.
Connolly thinks it's just in, but he'll ignore it.
And this is Nick being pretty aggressive here. You know, if you were going to play on the conservative side and you think that rock is in, it's pretty open. You should be able to hit it and be in front of the rings and not, you know, have your stone be able to be removed. But Nick going to go very aggressive and just try to get one buried under, you know, relatively staggered guards near the center
Go ahead, curl it.
and just
Go
draw
ahead,
play into that smaller scoring area.
Curl it.
Trying to wrap this a little bit. It's going to be a touch deep, but does get under the guard.
Yeah, I think so.
Saw Jared Allen in the background there. Of course, he's the former All-Pro defensive end who's part of Team Ruin, and I have to thank Jared. He did a lot of media for us this week on behalf of curling.
well done.
Obviously, a lot of interest in the New York media.
Get ready, Ben.
And Jared, and he was very
Curl
kind.
to it, Ben. Curl to it. It's close.
Pretty cool to
Hard
see him
curl.
out here.
Hard, Ben. It's close.
Yeah,
Hard
I think
curl.
what's great about
Hard.
Jared is he does have a lot of respect
Hard.
for the sport and
Hard. Clean.
willing to do a
Straight
lot
little.
for it.
Good.
Sinnott moves it. Good result.
Yeah, that's a really good shot from Chase. Even like getting that little tap is quite nice.
14.
Now they don't have to play the end with, Red being shot in front of the T line.
We want 14 to here.
So Connolly suggesting 14-second hog to hog just to top 4.
Yeah, just going to try to set up an angle and use that later. There's a lot of these first 4 shots are very much creating an opportunity for the later shots to actually realize that value. And here we've got, you can't do everything in one shot, right? Like you can't remove this rock that's behind the guards. You got to get that freeze, get the angle, and then play the angle next. So now they've got the yellow-red run if they want to play that later.
Top 8.
Bond was light. Connolly suggests he got it going a bit as well. And the sweepers pounded that all the way down. It comes up just shorter than they would have liked, a hair shorter.
Yeah, it's on the opposite side that they wanted it, but there is still access to that angle. So it's a usable stone. And you'll see Danny trying to make this freeze on the center line side to take away that yellow-red run that's set up.
Whoa, got a curl. Top 4. Whoa, it's really running. Close, Luke. Yep. Line's fine as if you're around it. Just keep going.
We're going to go around it because it's a little deep.
Keep going. Okay, hard, Nick.
Danny asking Nick to sweep that one.
2, it's really good. So this one's okay. There 2 though. Freeze the back.
Yeah, I think Nick's slight adjustment in the call here, instead of freezing the top one, to freeze the back one is definitely the right choice. If he ever freezes the top one, yes, that's a good angle on that stone. However, yellow's sitting 2 with the hammer at that point, so I think they need to make a play towards the back one, and basically, effectively make a double takeout with the draw.
Wait only.
Chris Bond,
Yep.
lefty
Easy.
intern, trying to get in there again.
No tap. 13-7.
13-7, sounds like that'll be a little warm. They're right off it now, and it will be a hair strong.
Chase, you could just go here.
Yeah.
It's a little heavier than they were hoping, but Danny can't really get inside it.
Yep.
A little tap's fine.
So they're going to try to just freeze and again set up the angle so that if contact is ever made, good things happen for them.
Ben Richardson with his second stone here in the second end.
I got less weight. 0-2.
Close. Yep.
Top 4.
Yep.
Yeah, wait.
Top 4. Hard line. Top 8. Gotta go.
This looks pretty light.
Hard. Hard, keep going. Curl. Okay, good sweep.
That ends up just short.
Yeah, that's a
just
really
off
rough
the
spot
center
for
line.
them. Not only does it cut off their path in, it's not accessible itself to run in. So that rock is effectively a red stone right now. Team Connolly loves where that position is.
Ben Richardson, I don't think he's feeling 100% this week, so that's always a bit of a challenge.
Easy, Nate. Go ahead then.
That is tough, and it's something that you never really see on camera either. Like
Line's
when these
great
teams
through
are out
here.
here competing on, and we're broadcasting it, that's not something that
Tiny
most
roll off,
viewers are
tiny
going
roll
to
off.
consider as a factor. But it definitely, when you're not feeling good, it is hard to play good.
Like, just feel. Luke.
Just a hair outside nose.
I don't know if it's better to throw it hard. What? I don't know if it's better to throw it hard.
I'm not sure either. I'll just give you a 7.
I'm thinking almost normal.
Oh.
I think. Because this is staying.
Okay. Let's go firm.
Okay.
It's moving a lot of rocks. I think firm's good.
So an interesting conversation there about what weight to throw. I'm not sure they both settled on the same. I've heard firm at one end and normal at the other, so.
I think Danny acknowledged firm.
Okay.
8.
Yep.
So
Whoa.
8-second hog to
Whoa.
hog is what they're looking for.
Yep.
Yep. Hard.
Hard.
Hard. Get it back. Go, go, go.
Good.
There's all the action on
Nice
the
shot, Luke. Really good.
rocks and the rings. That is a good result for Casper. Good throw by Luke Violette.
It's a really good
straight in
shot,
here.
especially because of the way the angle
is
between
okay,
the yellow
too.
rock and the 8-foot and the red rock in the top of the 4-foot sets up. The red rock goes by the yellow one on the
Back
button. So
8.
now they have that run again available to them again to maybe sit 5.
And without a without a good answer here from work, and a mittful is looming.
Good news for Connolly is there's a lot of good places that this tap can go. You can make this without making it quite often.
Yeah, really. Go right.
Key will be to stay on the
Good.
high side of the one
Great.
they're tapping and not over curl. They like the line early.
Whoa. Curl. Whoa. Clean. Curl.
The line looks very close.
It's a great shot from Evan.
That is, he'll be shot there.
And that red rock's, the only
Still
access
just
to
for
it is
now?
from the other
Yeah, you
red
can
stone
still
in the
do yellow,
12-foot,
yellow,
and
and
if
roll
that
this from
happens,
here.
the red one's not
Yeah.
going anywhere.
Normal.
Casper suggests making this for now, knowing he won't be shot after it, but he's chasing a big number here right
I
now.
think he's thinking the one that we're running it into. Move that one over.
Yeah, this is another kind of, it's weird to have a setup run back, but that's basically what they're doing and trying to rearrange the angles at the top of the 4-foot to hopefully get better access to that
Rate's
red
good.
stone on
Yep.
the button.
Yep.
Seattle
Yep.
native Luke
Yes.
Violette, his second. They're on it early.
Clean.
Clean.
Yep.
Yep. Hard.
Whoa.
Whoa,
Whoa.
whoa.
Yep.
Must be close.
Good.
It is. Now that red is getting
Not nine.
lonelier.
It is getting lonelier, but I don't see a path for it to leave right now.
Little unlucky with how the yellow rock on the left in the top 8-foot as we look at it.
Yeah, all the staggers are a little funky. I think Danny's best path in is right up the middle, the red, yellow, yellow, red.
Let's listen in as Connolly discusses.
I don't know what we guard though. They got some type of peel, like.
Oh, probably. I mean, it's probably red. They're probably gonna play this, like to here, right?
Yeah.
If anything, it opens it off for them.
Luke, what do we throw here? No.
You see Nick asking Luke what they should throw.
He's got to open up the center or something later. He doesn't have to make it on his first one.
Half the players on the sheet are from Seattle here, so
throw
they
one
have
guard?
That's
a
awesome.
lot of camaraderie
Center
between
that
them.
even, or yeah,
The center
one
guard?
Yeah. I don't hate that. I like that. It's a good option.
Yeah, can we freeze it? Oh.
I mean, he can't throw weight at it, right? Really? I guess he could, but
Why not right there?
I think it drags. Does it drag any?
I don't know if it's going though.
We can let him throw that. At least that'll get 2 of these. I think we either guard the out. I think we guard something up here because he's got to play to open it up. We can let him play this.
Or we go here. I don't mind that either. Then at least we're saving ourselves from doing it for like a 5, right?
I mean, I think we're pretty committed.
On the downside with this, then he's makes that.
That's what I was kind of thinking. But I mean, either option. Either one you like.
You think that?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I don't mind that. No line. Okay.
After a lengthy
it?
conversation,
14-8?
they have settled on the corner freeze on the 8, just
Lot
in
of
the
good
top
ways here.
in the
Lot of
top
good ways to
12,
make
almost
it
in the
on the
top
line.
8.
This is definitely a shot worth taking a lot of conversation to decide what to do. Game hangs in the balance on this one.
Steven, you got to tell us what you think after this.
It's always tricky when you start out and your question is, I'm not sure what we're guarding. There is that angle run on red that looks like it would remove the red on the rings, but it could also, certainly it contains an element of risk for Casper if he throws that.
Yeah, and I think that the way that those are set up, the red right now, the one that's on the button probably doesn't leave the forefoot. I do think that where they've settled on is probably the best spot on the sheet to put the stone, to take away the run up the middle. It is a little bit tricky because they could wire the angle. You're kind of flirting with that. I'd be inclined to play just another, like a one guard in front of the red stone, but if this is made, I think it's probably the best spot for them to put it.
Connolly trying to corner freeze. Now they're sweeping for line. They might move the yellow a bit. Can't freeze to nose, he says.
That's a pretty good spot, I think.
Well, the only thing it does open up, though, let's listen in as Danny talks about it. There's yellow.
Yeah, he did create a yellow.
Without much risk.
It opens up. If we just move things, it helps.
It's tough because we got to hit this a lot thinner than what it seems. Like, that's borderline not there, I'm thinking.
I think it's there.
Like, because there's a lot of space between these two.
Yeah, there's more space between the 1 and the 7 than it looks, the red and the yellow. If you like it, it's definitely there. I think so. I think the idea is to make things move.
Yeah, okay.
Was it curling at all?
A touch, I think you should be able to hold it straight where I let it go.
Okay.
If you go on it.
Just right here.
Connolly moves that rock more than he wanted. Now Casper will take a run at this.
Yeah, not much more than he wanted. I mean,
What's
only like 2 inches.
To Danny's point,
2/3.
they have to hit the high yellow maybe thinner than you might think, and that puts it into danger of coming onto the other red
We're gonna throw peel
in the
and
top
shove
12.
stuff around.
The other thing too, though, about to that point is, once Danny makes contact with this, the object stone is going to be rotating in such a fashion that if he makes contact with the red one, as long as he hits the back half of it, it's still going to go into the yellows with the right angle that they want.
Curl.
Rock on the way, peel weight.
A lot of good things can happen from this.
Curl.
Good.
And there's the good things. Now Chase Sinnott's got to move that one a bit.
Or
I
third.
think they're just second, maybe
Or at least 2.
at least 2.
Looks like yellow 3 to me.
Yes, does look like 3.
It's way easier than hitting and rolling.
Oh, I was just saying this kind of limits it, right? And then if anything he makes it, only down 2.
Connolly facing 3 now.
They're 3, I think.
I hate it. They can't really get this.
We can let it throw later.
Yeah, that would be for 4 if I roll out or something.
No, you make it. You got it.
Let's go control. Pretty straight there.
So big hit and roll here for
I think
Connolly.
if we hit
Important to
this
get this
and
roll,
rotate
but
it
he
for
doesn't.
free, you can play
There's a
that
lot
run
of
for
good
4,
places to roll.
Yeah,
as long as
tap, he gets 4.
As long as he gets half under the yellow one in the 8 foot, there's probably not a shot for 3. There's a short run for 2 that's not particularly difficult, but as long as he doesn't leave this 3/4 open, I don't think Danny's going to have a shot for 3.
Yeah, I feel like this is the hardest shot we can throw. So I feel like it's weird. I think they're 3. I guess, yeah. Yeah, just 10-5. Kind of straight here, so be careful early.
Clean. Whoop. Clean. Close. Yep. Yep. Hard, Chris. Hard.
Really going hard to save this one.
Yeah, now
Looks
they're
like
off. They might go for the real thin roll.
Hard, Chris. Pistol.
Great shot from Nick. They knew they were going to leave this for Danny, but they didn't have much choice with what they could play on that shot.
Yeah, and this will be just for 2.
Normal weight. Let's make it.
Short 3-foot run back from Danny for 2 points
Yep,
here in the
Rose.
second end.
Yep.
Casper, last rock,
Whoa.
second end, looking
Yep.
for 2.
Clean. Yep.
Needs a short
Hard.
run, on and off.
Whoa.
Now on,
Whoa.
now
Curl.
clean.
Curl. 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 Yes, sir.
2.
Love that from Casper. So that'll be 2 for Casper. They'll take a 2-1 lead into the third end. It's time to remind you that Steve's Curling Supplies has been America's #1 curling equipment supplier for over 50 years, and they're proud to support USA Curling, and we're happy to have them do that. No matter your skill level or budget, Steve's has all the top products from the most popular brands in the sport. And right now, you can save $10 on any purchase of $100 or more when you use the code USA Curling 10 at checkout. That's USA Curling 10 at checkout. Visit stevescurling.com. That's stevescurling.com for all the needs of curling that you may have. We're back here. Give you some updates from other sheets. Schuster up 1-0 on U.S. Junior National Champion Wes Wendling. Corey Dropkin, it's now 3-0. That's just went up. 3-0 Corey Dropkin. Corey took 2 in the first and stole 1 in the second against Rich Runin. Our game here, 2-1 Casper over Connolly. And over on sheet D, it is Dunham 2-1 over Sampson. Sampson answered Dunham's deuce in the first with a single in the second. We're back here in the third end.
Good.
Well played last end by Team Casper to secure that deuce.
Yeah, really, honestly, a well-played end from
by
both
both teams.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice, good judge. Good shot, Chase.
Chase Sinnott puts the tight center line guard up.
And coming under will be Nate Perry.
Yeah, we're all like 7, 8.
See Nate Perry in
I come
the
down.
USA
right
Curling Mixed Doubles Nationals
better.
headed to Traverse
Get
City
better. 7,
later
good.
this month.
No, you don't have to go straight. No, no.
Brand new facility, just opened about a year in Traverse City, Michigan. So we're excited to take a national championship there, and
Really good, Nate.
they're putting a lot of great work into it.
You do 25.
That's a perfect spot for that first come around. You definitely don't want that to be all the way to the button, because then if Chase makes this freeze, just 1 or 2 taps and all of a sudden you're behind the tee line. You get that thing halfway in the forefoot, it's got a lot more distance to move before it becomes not shot stone.
I thought you were going to say Traverse City is a perfect place for the Mixed Doubles Nationals, but
well, I'm going to take your word for it on that one.
Only if we can.
no, they've been great
Line's
partners,
getting better.
so we're looking forward
Line's
to a great event there.
Line's good. Get it there.
Sinnott trying to get it. They want to get to the nose.
Keep going. Okay.
Does get the angle, but not quite the distance.
Okay.
So Nick is going to play this with kind of an A-B approach. The sweepers are going to communicate whatever the weight is, and if it's to the tee line, they'll play to come around immediately. If they're going to get the freeze, they'll get the freeze.
Yep.
Easy. Yep. 7.
Easy. Close. Yep. Easy.
Weight's all there.
Line's perfect.
So they'll be wrapping around here. End up just back button.
It's all right. 13-8 on that one.
That's a pretty good shot. It's one of those relatively risky
also try
ones
this.
because Danny's kind of priced into playing this draw here.
T-line.
And if they ever tick and roll off, then 3 looks really good. But if they make it, then Connolly's going from on one shot being the aggressor to the next having to clean up and being forced to play some run back stuff.
Line's good.
Casper second, Ben Richardson
Little room. Luke.
with his
Luke.
first of the third end.
T. Make sure it's here.
A little bit.
T. Gotta curl a ways.
It's got a lot of room.
Really out there. Gotta carve it, Luke.
Saying the weight is
Just
key, but they need.
Looks light.
Now they like the
Hard,
weight.
Luke.
A lot of late
Hard.
finish here.
Hard. Okay. Good throw, Ben.
Fooled just a bit on the sweeping, but the angle is good.
Yeah, the angle's very good.
This is okay. That's pro side.
That's fine.
There is room for Connolly to get to the nose with the freeze. And if he does so, they'll be in really good position. The problem is if he's ever 1 or 2 inches high of nose, then that wires up the angle that Danny just set up. So
4-5. Weight's good. 5.
Hard line.
Weight's good.
definitely some upside here, but a lot of risk going on too.
Hard, Nate.
This rod's curling.
Easy. Curl. Just dropping him.
Nose.
So yeah, now Danny's got 2 ways in, and he's going to
Big
take
firm.
advantage of one of them here.
Yeah,
Try to
firm
kill
count,
2
tough
red
reds
stones
with the
and
reds firm.
sit shot behind a pile of guards.
You got it.
Clean. Yep. Hard.
Send it hard for line here.
Clean. Yep.
Now clean.
Yep.
Gotta be close.
Good.
Danny, go.
There it is. You want to spill that red out as well.
Shot, Ben.
Well done by Ben Richardson.
They actually made it as good as they possibly could have because they hit the yellow one thin enough that it skated across the center line. If it had planted right on the red one, then this yellow on the right side would be available. But because it's skated over there, now it's behind these staggered rocks in the front of the house.
No, that's
It's
great.
really trouble for Connolly.
Or we do this.
Yeah. I like that.
Just high.
Okay.
Connolly
Do that
will look to do a bit
6-5.
of damage control here, and
I think they've settled on the right call. First, they looked at trying to hit and roll off the one on the wing, but it doesn't actually accomplish anything for them. If anything, it further covers up shot stone. So, going to try to just get access to shot rock at some point.
Clean.
there's the peel.
Knows it now.
Put it back, I think. Think we're guarding the red. Guard the red. 2.
Some discussion about nosing it now, but I like guarding here.
Yeah, I agree. If you're nosing, you're playing for the force, and if you guard, the steal is
3.
very
Line's
possible
good. Little straight. 2. Line's good.
with super little
High
risk
Z,
of
high
abuse.
3.
There's
Split
not
center.
much that
High
Connolly
3.
has
3. Should
that
be
they can
there.
leverage from an
Should be
offensive
plenty
standpoint
through.
right now.
Trying to split center. Easy, Chase.
Just want to split
Nice flip.
center, and that's what they do. They wanted to guard that red stone. Deep enough that Connolly might get a little action in the rings here. Evan Workin, North Dakota native.
I'd really like to see them save the shooter here as a corner guard because then they can angle that in for 2 on the last shot.
Hopefully we'll save the shooter.
Good.
That worked out pretty good.
Really good throw.
Does remove the yellow stone that was shot rock, forcing Casper to make a
Control.
play on the red stone that's now shot rock. He'll ask Luke Violette to throw control weight of this. Luke Violette, father Tom Violette, also a past men's national champion. Luke, a 4-time junior national champion.
It's good. Yep.
And Tom Violette, also a world
Yep.
senior champion.
Clean.
Named
Clean.
after a Stanley Cup champion.
Curl. Curl. Curl all the way. Curl all the way. Curl all the way. Curl all the way. That's good. Sorry, Luke tried to bring it over.
10-5.
So now Connolly with an opportunity to get under cover. it was pretty important for Casper on their last hit to roll away to make this roll for Connolly tough. Because if they don't have this hit and roll in, there's not really a path to the 4-foot right now.
All right, Nate, come on. Right to it.
Right hard. Perry trying to hold this one.
Come on.
Easy. Sit right there. Really good.
How far does it roll? It does roll under.
I was just letting you guys listen. Normal? Yeah, around the nose.
There.
Pretty good spot to roll
Yeah,
to.
I think maybe a fraction less on this side.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see that finish. Same way you had last end.
Talking through the ice, almost
Normal.
another fairly
A little
short run for
straighter than the ones I
Casper.
was
He made
throwing
a big
over here.
one to score 2 in the second. Needs a good one here.
Yeah,
Same spot on
this
the
will be
sheet,
straighter than
different
the ones I was
direction, but
throwing
it's
here.
the same slide as the one he made before. Always feels good to be able to throw the same shot twice.
Casper, his first, third end. He's got a 2-1 lead.
Clean. Yep. Clean. Clean.
Yep.
Close. Yep. Hard. Whoa.
Now,
Whoa. Clean.
Good. 9-8.
Alden made the little
That's a great shot.
roll, a little roll towards the lid is good. Connolly will assess his situation here.
We gotta make sure we can score 1.
Can we just throw a bomb and try to make this triple?
I wouldn't say the triple, but I mean, even like what happens if he just knows it, leave it there?
We ever just throw a bomb at this? Try to get them all? What? Right there was 6-5.
You ever like? I mean, I don't think you're gonna get them all, man. It's pretty steep.
It's
I
close.
mean, you gotta like.
I mean, even if it just moves out of the 4-foot.
I was just saying, like, if you just played nose even on it, right?
I like this. I like this. Open up both
Okay.
sides.
Okay.
I like this.
Okay.
Open up both
Okay.
sides.
6-5.
Give me a little
So
less.
Connolly thinks the
Want to hit about
triple might be there.
Yeah, he's playing the slash double first.
Yep.
And if he, gets the triple, great, that's upside. A lot of people's intuition would be like, we have to make a play on shot rock, which definitely has merit. But Nick's point is he just wants to make sure that he has 2 ways to the button. And if he can kill both of these top 2 Yellowstones, then he has the outturn draw and he has the in-turn hit. Danny probably can't guard both of them, so he's probably going to come in himself and sit top button, which if he makes it, Nick's in trouble, but this is his best way to open up 2 chances to score.
Using the ever subtle bomb weight, Nick Connolly.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Right off, right off, right off, right off, right
Uh-oh,
off, right
he's
off.
got some curling to do.
Go, 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 go.
That's good.
Sant will get that well
Sorry,
back.
tiny little out. Tiny little out. That's good.
He's pretty close to making it.
He was.
Darn
Nick
good,
said he
but-
was a tiny bit out.
The mission is accomplished, even though that Yellowstone still in the 8-foot. Like he did
little
clear his
straighter
path.
here.
I was thinking like
The
to the middle.
guards curled late though.
I was thinking,
thinking there.
I was thinking a quarter, so like a hair more than that.
Okay.
If you're okay
yeah.
with that.
Yeah, we can carve it.
Should be around
So
the Ellis.
Casper
If we're,
Send
if we're
it
wide,
tucked
just
through
leave
the
it
ice.
light so he can't nose and be shot.
Yeah.
They'd like to Christmas
Sorry,
tree
Christmas
this.
tree it like top 8.
Huh.
If we're
I'm
trying to take
inside
ice to
Danny
hopefully
Casper's
carve
head.
this at the end. We're thinking if we're wide, we're gonna leave it top 12.
The Tony
so he
Romo
can't
of curling
nose and be
broadcasting,
shot.
Oh, yeah.
predicting the future.
All right, so Casper currently lies 2. He's trying to make Connolly draw full button for his single.
Yeah, trying to leave him the outturn draw.
Line's good. Okay. Line's good.
Straight line. Yep.
Straight. Yep.
Line's
Keep
good.
it there. Keep it there.
Whoa.
Okay, line's good. Curl.
Curl if it's
They
there.
like the line now.
Little
They'd
bit
like
curl,
to make
yep.
it work a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, once the line's
Hard,
good, it's all
hard,
upside.
hard.
Just sweep as hard as you can
Hard,
to
hard,
get it as
hard.
far
Good,
as you
good,
can.
good. Great sweep, guys.
Well done. That's a good spot. Well swept.
sweep.
And leaves Connolly only with the outturn draw
And this is what Nick was planning on when he played that slash on his first one.
Needs full button pretty much. Touches the pin, he has it for sure. Actually has to just bite the edge of the USA, the inside of the USA Curling logo.
Yeah, it's still running nice.
They're talking about that speed at 14.8.
So probably looking for a 14.4.
Yeah, we've also seen
14.3.
14s settle in there, so.
Medium ad. Line's great. Line's great.
Chris was a little
Line's
bit
really
scared
good.
of this
Always
release.
Line's great. Looks really close, guys. Always neat. Come on.
Chris Bond,
Line's off,
Perry,
T-line. Gotta go. Head down. We're gonna be really
working
close.
hard,
T-line.
trying to get it there.
Starting to curl now, too.
Starting to curl, and the weight's coming off. Can they get it there? They want to at least be second shot.
That's really good sweep from Chris. He knew it as soon as Nick let it go that they could not stop sweeping on that one.
So it will be a steal of 1 for Casper, and we'll head here to the fourth end at the Rink at American Dream in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's time to talk about Warm Room Hero, the intuitive curling club software that takes the stress out of schedules, registrations, and more. It's Warm Room Hero, a platform built for curlers by curlers. It's Anthony Darko, actually, the curler behind this. Check out Warm Room Hero at curling.club today. That's curling.club. That's an easy one to remember. And it's Warm Room Hero, the software for curling club management. We'd all like to make curling club management a little easier. USA Curling member clubs also get a special discount introductory price when they work with Warm Room Hero. We'll be right back. We're back. 2024 USA Curling Men's and Women's Nationals from the Rink at American Dream in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Some updates. John Schuster now up 3-0 against Wes Wendling. Corey Dropkin up 3-1 over Rich Ruinen. Ruinen grabs 1 in the third. This game, our feature game, 3-1 Casper over Connolly. And over on sheet D, Philadelphia's Scott Dunham up 4-1 over Ethan Sampson.
Keeping their dream alive over there.
So Sinnett's first, just off center, a hair higher than they would have liked. Corner guard goes up by Connolly.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw them come under the center guard in the last end, but now with a 2-point deficit, they kind of, their hand is forced a little bit. They can't really play too conservatively. They got to try to generate some offense, so up the corner goes.
I should mention that video that just ran is available to on the USA Curling content platform, Our House. You can find that on the website. It's actually an idea from Mopac as a video you can send after somebody does a Learn to Curl at your club. So if you want more information about that, just let us know.
Okay.
Double centers with a 2-point lead, my style.
I like it.
Not sure it's everyone's style, but there you go.
It is certainly my style.
Yeah, a little bit.
Both a little just off center, so the
3-4. Hard everything. Might be like it. Let me get in here. Come on, guys. Keep going.
It's really good.
Buy it. Keep going. Always straight.
This looks really good as long as they can get it to the full 8-foot.
well
Really good.
swept by
That's
Chris
about
Bond.
perfect.
Saw Bond looked to be struggling with some sort of injury the other night. I'm not sure what
Yeah,
was
should be.
behind that, but
He's had some shoulder issues this season.
Here comes Richardson. Now he'll try to wrap one
Hold it
around.
straight. Yep. Top 8. Line's good. Still
Top
straight
8.
though.
Top 12.
Get it here. Line's good.
Top 8.
Right here. Split center. Still straight, straight, straight.
It's there.
Straight, keep going, Luke.
It's there.
Easy.
Waits there. Now
Trying to
they
keep a
just wanna
pretty
be
steep angle on this.
Really nice.
That's a
bounce.
great spot.
Little tap.
Weld's right on the corner.
T-line.
And it's not so far under the guard that it's accessible with something like hack weight to try to kill the red one that way.
Like T-weight.
Forces Nick to kind of waste a stone cutting off that angle.
He's going to try to unlock them.
Weight's close.
Yep.
Right now. Getting better. 8. Back
Clean.
6.
Clean.
7. Yeah,
Back 8. Just back 8.
Clean it. Curl. Curl. Harden it. Every inch.
Perry's
every
going
inch.
to
Keep
try to
going,
carve this one
great
over.
throw.
Good shot.
That's really,
Really
really
good.
good from
Gotta
Chris.
keep our booms down.
Unlocked and good angles now
Yeah.
for red.
Kept
Casper
a
with an
good
issue.
angle, stayed buried with the red one, and unlocked the yellow-red angle.
Casper contemplates.
He can't hear you.
Cannot hear you at all. Can you like chase this, and if you take that over, it can't really kill it. Yep,
Yeah, and just set up the double.
yep, chest high.
Yeah.
Okay, hack.
We probably want to keep
Back
the yellow,
line.
so maybe back
I know,
line.
but I think hack might keep the yellow.
Okay.
Back line, space.
For people who don't know where East Rutherford, New Jersey is, we're in the shadow of MetLife Stadium, the home of the woeful Giants and Jets. So they talked about maybe chasing that other red with the intern, but they're going to play hack weight on the redstone that Chris Bond just threw.
Back line.
I really like this
clean.
call. I think maybe
Yep,
it's a little bit
back
more
line.
weight than I would be inclined to play,
Hard.
but Danny wants to make sure they get the yellow one out of the way of this double
Yep.
that they're setting up. They're trying to keep an angle
Clean.
on
So
the
back
yellow,
line.
red double.
Curl, clean, curl,
Same
curl.
back line.
Clean, straight, 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 straight.
Yep. Really good.
And there
That's
you go,
perfect.
exactly what you were talking about. Now the angle does go on that red.
We got to move them.
Pair of great shots back to back here by
Yeah,
by
no kidding.
dueling seconds.
What?
Like double peel.
Just
or?
tap it around.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah,
I just don't. We might want nosed. Might come off this a hair. Give me hack.
Yeah, I think Nick is exactly right
Just
that you
inside
really do
nose.
want to try to get to nose here because that changes the angle
need hack.
to the other direction. It makes it so that that yellow one's never going towards the reds.
Easy.
Little big.
Everything in general.
Curl.
Everything
Curl.
about him in general is funny.
yeah. A little still up. Coming down. Getting better.
Close. Curl. 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 Hard Nate.
Begging this one to curl here.
There you go. Good.
Really good.
Awesome.
That's a great shot.
Nice sweep, Nate.
It did come off
Control.
the red one a little bit more than they were hoping, which leaves the
Okay.
hit and
That's
roll
plenty.
in.
What, did he call control? Okay.
But they accomplished about as much as they could on that one.
Weight's good.
Clean. Yep.
Maybe a touchdown.
Going to hit and
Clean.
roll over. Love to roll right to the lid
Curl.
here.
Clean, straight. Straight.
Hard bend.
Straight.
To it.
Straight.
Now they're
Straight.
trying
Straight.
to hold
Straight.
it. They don't
Straight.
want to hit
Straight.
it too
Straight.
thin.
Sit.
Stop. Okay. All right. 10-8.
Wanted to stay right on nose.
That
and they
drag's kind of bad for us. Might hit our red. Close. It's close to being really good.
Yeah, I think some really good things could happen here if you hit basically what you can see with normal, maybe a little bit more.
3 quarters.
Where do you want to hit it? Where do you want to hit it?
3 quarters.
Okay.
You can give me here. Ev, give me here.
Yeah, normal's good.
Okay, normal. Easy.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Curl.
Oh, getting better. Stay close, Nate. Curl.
Close, curl.
Curl. Curl.
Easy, 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 easy. Watch the roll. Watch the roll. Really good, Ev. Beauty.
A lot of great shot making in this end.
That's a great
Steve.
shot, yeah.
Yeah, back to back, everybody making shots. Fun
Control.
to watch. There's an opportunity here, though,
last was
for
10-8.
Casper.
You can throw left,
Yeah,
Luke,
Nick
if you want.
Connolly took a lot of pressure
Okay.
off with that shot there. It did
last
open
was
up,
a 10-8.
you know, some avenues for Danny to get into the middle and be shot now, but all the stuff is off the center line for Connolly, and so they can.
10-8.
They've got some
Whoa,
wingers
10-8.
hanging around.
Curl.
There's a lot of possibilities here if,
Really
if
gotta
Casper
go.
ever misses a shot.
Hard.
Hard is close.
Hard.
To it. Hard.
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 Hard. Hard.
And here you see a roll off.
Okay.
So a mistake there.
Yeah. 11. Just a little out on release. Good sweep there, Ben.
Yep, we got it, guys. All good ways. Close D. All right.
And with that, the deuce is loose.
Good finish at the end.
Nice out turn come around here from working, and Connolly's in business.
A little tight.
These are the shots you set the whole end up for, you know, like bunch of good shots back and
Mine's
forth,
really
just
good, guys.
waiting for the
Mine's
other team to
good.
kind of have a slight miscue. Really important that you,
Mine's great. Come on, guys.
you know,
Straight.
clamp it home and
Straight.
make this come around and
Whoop.
put yourself in a really good position to score 2.
Gotta be here.
Whoop.
Hey, good shot, buddy.
Settles in.
Nice weight, but it does leave shot stone really accessible, and
You could even
Danny has some choices here. He could kind of concede 2 with no chance of 3, or he could play this freeze.
Let's listen in and see where his head is at.
I'm just thinking because if we nose,
Yeah, I mean it's hard to
then
imagine.
they probably roll back. Yeah, it's almost a guaranteed.
I was
to.
hoping we like go here, they hold, and then roll into ours.
Yeah, I mean we could play more of like a hack and try to get any roll
And
in.
just try to like make sure it's there.
Yeah.
That was what we were saying.
Roll to here and they roll in. You should be able to freeze them out then if we have to. If we
What?
get to nose, they should always be rolling out and then we
Yeah, I don't think we're ever want to roll out. That's looking at a 3.
I don't.
I was thinking if we play more of like a solid hack, right, and try just get to get here and put it here.
I think you either get rid of it or you don't.
I think you're either freezing or you kill it.
Yeah. Let's freeze.
Small tap's fine.
There.
Yeah, they seem to be holding pretty well, right?
Yeah.
I like the thought process from Danny there. He kind of, you know, Chase was talking about something kind of in between with the tap, soft hit. And Danny was like, I think you're either killing it or you're freezing. And I think he's right. You know, if you're going to remove the stone, the best way to do it is probably just rip it right out of there. And you know, Connolly doesn't have a great spot to draw a second one, given that they cut off the draw path with their last draw. So here they've elected to freeze, which has the highest upside. There is a little bit of risk, you know, if you ever are a little bit heavy and roll open or tick off the top one, some bad things can happen, but
Mine's
this
good.
is definitely the
Let it
highest
grab,
upside
let it
shot.
grab. Mine's good. Stay close.
They like the
Just
line.
C-line. Mine's good.
Well, they looks
Curl.
like they're on it a bit for weight, on and off.
Make sure it's there. Straight.
Little bump is the
Always
call.
straight. Make sure it's there.
Straight.
Yep.
Hard!
Hard.
Don't wanna-
Hard!
Hard.
Hard!
Hard. Keep
Hard!
going.
Hey, one.
Not dead frozen, but pretty good.
Yeah, Nick might be able to just pick it right out of there.
That's what I'm thinking.
What's up?
Is that good? Are we shot?
Yeah.
Okay, then we go here.
Aren't we? That's what I was thinking right away.
They're waiting a long time for it to curl, and then it started to slow down and
There
over
one.
curl.
Yeah, that's what happens on this, championship ice is once it starts to curl, the weight really comes off of it a lot. So sweeping management on those draws is really tricky. You need to know where the break points are. You need to know when the weight's going to start to come off of it and anticipate that with your sweep calls.
Yeah, brushers have to be patient and prepared.
That's, yeah, it's kind of awesome. Just
let's go 11.
Okay, 11. I like that.
So Connolly's going to throw an 11 hog to hog.
Throw an 11.
11.
I'm interested he's not throwing this harder.
I was going to just say, Stevie, I think some people might throw this harder, try to make that double, right? And with 11, maybe he figures he moves them both, gets both far enough and might save his shooter.
Yeah.
Maybe down 2, he wants to do that.
The tough part about that is even if he does save the shooter with 11, he's going to leave it in a spot where Danny can hit and roll off of it to the one on the button or make a double there and spin up. Like, I think he leaves Danny a lot by leaving his shooter around. I really think it's better to just kill him and get out of there.
So, yeah, he'll play this quiet double, I guess.
Yep.
Yes!
Yep.
Rock on the way.
Yep.
On it early.
Gotta go!
Hard, really close! Hard, Nate! Hard, yep!
They're holding it, but they're holding enough.
Right to it! Right to it! Right to it!
I don't
Right to
think
it!
they're going to hit it thin.
Go.
Sit there.
That's fine.
Well, they get the action on it, but
Good or bad?
I would say bad.
We got to try to roll and freeze on that.
from my vantage point, it looks bad, Nick, I'm afraid.
Yeah, the thing is, even if we nose and they make the double, triple thing, they only get 2.
Yeah, but let's make this roll.
Yeah.
Control.
Just to keep in mind.
You like there with control?
Yeah, I like it. You got it.
Danny Casper now will try to roll about half a rock to the left as we look at it.
Yep.
Control it. Roll. You got to roll on top of the red.
Even if it just rolls to splitting the center line, that's very, very, very good.
Control.
He just wants to take away that double. Chase Sinnott suggesting that nose isn't terrible. It's only for 2 if he makes that. But
Yeah, the interesting thing is that even if he rolls an inch to the outside, then the angle of the double is steep enough that Connolly can't save his shooter. So I think the only spot that Nick has a shot for 2 is if Danny beaks this right on the nose.
Danny Casper, his last shot. Fourth end, he's up 2. Trying to move this one over now.
Hard, you got it. Girl.
Trying to move it. It's close to half a rock.
You're good. Good.
Pretty much as drawn up and
That's
perfect.
About perfect.
Well done by Casper. Connolly is going to face, I think, just another outturn draw.
Yeah, that's really all he's got.
Casper in the back. He's feeling good about his game right now.
Yeah. The only way we get 2 is something running the corner.
Danny's got one of the best mentalities of a young skip I've ever encountered.
I would agree. He's got a short memory when he misses, and that's big.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of cautious confidence. And that's not, you get a lot of young people who have the confidence, but not the cautious part. And he is not reckless, but he believes he can do anything. And
Nick Connolly with his last, he's going to need another, his lefty intern, he needs a piece of the button like he needed last end.
Line's great.
Lot of rim.
Another path.
Lot of rim. Take a look.
Line's good.
Will always curl.
This will curl in and hard at the end.
Great.
14. Straight. Always straight now.
Come on, put it on the pin.
Yep, come on.
Now they want it right on the lid for him.
Pistol.
And that's where they'll put it. Well done by Nick Connolly.
Well swept.
Well swept as well as a former front ender. Thanks for saying that, Stevie. Well, that wraps up the fourth end. It is 3-2 in favor of Danny Casper. Well played game so far. We'll be right back. tight to the guard as they can. Might have overswept that a little bit early. That leaves Connolly shot rock.
They definitely swept that conservatively. I think that's a spot where
This is what we were doing in the first end, and
you can try to get pretty aggressive and get close to the guard, because if you clear the guard and make the shot the way they just did,
Give me edge 4.
clearly the result isn't very good. And they really needed to get low in order to make the shot good.
Okay,
so.
right? Like,
Yeah, flirting with the guard there. If they ever just moved the guard off, it would probably have been better than that result, right?
Exactly.
trying to hit and roll off, but we'd like to be T-line. Okay, 10, Chris?
One thing that you need to think about when you're placing this draw, if you're Nick, is because of the position of the yellow and red stones on the other side of the rings, you don't want to leave any doubles, so you want to be even, but which one do you want to be even with? Because you're even with the yellow one, then the reds are staggered and you can play the red-red double. But if you're even with the red one, then Danny can play the double off of his yellow one, which goes into the red. So you almost want to put it like in between them. Just make sure you get second shot here. And he does not.
Don't get second shot.
Doesn't even get third.
And now advantage Casper. Needed to be second shot. Needed to be T-line as well. So there wasn't the long crosshouse double available. Bond looks like he's recovering from that rush.
That way it comes.
Chris has been working hard this game.
Like wait, just try to move
They've
it
been
all
leaning on him.
there.
Yeah. Luke stayed straight.
I was gonna say he ran nice.
I think
there.
it might even be less than that.
They did, I mean, like, they're not second
I think
shot
we
right
can
now,
carve it if we
but
just
they did
wait.
put it in a spot where Danny has to be careful
Peel away
with
close
this
to
double,
nose and
because
try to peel.
it's pretty easy to make this in a way that either you're like, if he rolls across, if he
Get
comes
our,
across
yellow
nose,
to
then your
roll
shooter
over,
might not
maybe
be
under
out
the
counting the
red.
red rock that Connolly just threw. If he stays high side, then the object rock might skate across
Yeah.
and squirt out into the 12-foot, and
Not
you could be second shot after that anyway. So it's not the ideal spot for them to be, but Danny does have to be careful with the way that he throws this and the way they call the line.
He's looking for nose on his first here in the fifth end.
Gotta go.
Hard, you got it. Hard.
Carving
Hard,
it over.
hard,
Carving
hard.
it over. Can they get enough? Well, they're going to remove everything. So hit a little on the high side, not the.
Love you, buddy. Sorry about that.
We'll leave. Let's see where Connolly wants to put this.
See if I can hit the 8-foot.
Stop it.
He did draw the lid, so he's concerned about hitting the 8-foot.
Oh, we got lucky.
Nick is skilled at self-deprecation.
I'm in favor of self-deprecation in general.
Yeah, I know. I thought I slid heavy, so I kind of dropped it.
So now with the result of that shot, right, Nick's last one looks totally fine.
Yeah.
I felt
So
more like oh.
he'll draw and try to lie 2 here and force Casper to take 1.
It starts curling, just go though, because we can be deep. Much better throw. It was smaller than it looked.
Likes the throw better. I think the last one, the release was a little soft and all the weight came off.
Right here. Right here.
I really like the way that Nick communicates the way he released the rock to the stones,
Yep, gotta go.
or to the
Turtle.
sweepers.
Hard as it goes.
He doesn't, he's very honest.
Hard, Chris.
Let's see, guys. Hey, that's a good spot. There you go. Let's see, guys.
Well swept.
It's a point
Well
where I
judged.
thought they could have left it just a hair shorter and made Danny consider the draw. Leave it a little higher, and then he can't nose for 1. But he'll play the nose hit here, try to take 1 in the 5th, and carry a 4-2 lead into the break.
They'll definitely be happy with that after starting the game without the hammer. They've played well the first half of this game. Definitely got that confidence back that I was talking about at the start.
Yeah, well played game so far by both teams. Casper, his last shot, 5th end, looking to hit in the stick to count 1.
Clean. 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 Yep. Clean.
Just clean, should be good.
10-1. 1 yellow.
So that'll be one for Casper. Count it as 4-2 as we head into the break here. It's the 5th end break, and it's time for that mid-game break that is brought to you by Broom Fitters, where you'll find a full selection of curling brooms, shoes, and equipment, along with unique curling apparel, gifts, and more. Visit broomfitters.com. That's broomfitters, all one word, .com for good curling gear. And for a limited time, take 10% off your first order with the code USA. All right, we're back here at the 2024 Men's and Women's National Championships. It's the 5th end break. I'll quickly update you on the scores from the other sheets. 4-0 Schuster. They're still finishing the 5th end over junior champ West Wendling. It's 5-2 now for Corey Dropkin over Team Ruinen. Our game is now 4-3 Casper over Connolly. Or 4-2, sorry. I'm sorry, it is 4-2. Scott Dunham with a big 4 in the 5th end. He takes a commanding 8-2 lead over Ethan Sampson. A must-win for Dunham. Looks like he's well on his way to getting it. And I'm joined here by Than Tibbetts, Brooklyn-based, Minnesota-born, I think. Is that right, Than?
That's correct, Dean.
So Than is heavily involved in curling in Brooklyn. Started at the Brooklyn Curling Member Club, Brooklyn Lakeside. And Than, you're also very involved in the pursuit of a curling-specific facility in the New York area, something I know pretty well, that pursuit. It's not an easy one. Tell me about what you're up against.
Yeah, and I think you know better than anyone, having spent maybe 10 years chasing that dream with a facility in the Bronx. Yeah, we're looking at doing the same thing in Brooklyn. We've got our home club, Brooklyn Lakeside, that plays out of Prospect Park. I heard you describe it as rustic conditions. Maybe I'll counter that and say it's adventurous.
I will say that I always say this, that our curlers who play in arena facilities on prep skating ice are our most dedicated. You've got to do a lot of work to make it happen. I've been out in Brooklyn, and you have a dedicated crew there that curls. It's actually covered, but outside, obvious, so open to the elements. So, yeah, it's a ton of fun out there when you go, but I don't expect to shoot a high percentage, but have some fun. And I think, talk about some of the things you're doing to try to help promote the path from a facility like yours to the one that most arena clubs want to get to, a facility that's just for curling.
Yeah, we've done a lot in Brooklyn just trying to spread the word about the sport, and I think, as you know, having a dedicated facility in the New York metro area would be a huge boon to the sport and just a massive draw. So we're trying to do that, but we're not unlike many other clubs around the country who are on arena conditions and who want to build a facility. So myself and Don Pichet from Traverse City, who just opened a really lovely facility in Michigan, a 5-sheeter in an old retail store, have decided to kind of come together because we discovered we've been asking the same questions of ourselves. How do we build dedicated ice? And, clubs from Dallas, clubs Austin, Long Island, you name it, they're looking for a fresh facility. And we're all asking the same questions independently of each other. So we've decided to build a little platform called Positive Ice. Starting with a Facebook group. It'll be at positiveice.com. But we want to build a community of community builders. And it's not just about building facilities, but it's about how you build the community that lives inside that facility. So we can graduate, clubs like mine at Brooklyn Lakeside, do what Don did in Traverse City, build just a really thriving curling community there. And they got to dedicated ice. They're in the promised land. They're hosting national championships. That's kind of the dream of, I think, for every club. So,
yeah, I think it's a great initiative, and glad to help do whatever to support bringing people in this position together. I will add that USA Curling is fortunate to have an arena club working group headed up by Jane Sharp and a lot of great curlers from around the country. I'd encourage people to visit our content platform, Our House, for a lot of great information that they've provided. They provided great insight into arena curling for a lot of us, including me. I attend most of their meetings, if not all, and then they're creating creating a lot of content as well, not just for the Path to Dedicated Ice, but also for how to make the most out of the facility you have. So I appreciate your efforts, and I appreciate their efforts. And I will say, like I said, the Arena Curlers, they go through a lot just to play. We have the Arena Nationals Championship. I will say we're going to put out some information early next week about that, a couple small changes to how the field is developed. And since I have a chance here, Than, I'm going to also suggest that we need a host site for the Arena Nationals next year. Curl Masabi has been very generous and hosted for 2 years, but we do need a host site. It can be a dedicated ice facility. In fact, it's probably more likely and economically feasible to be that. So
are you inviting to come out to Brooklyn and
yeah,
curl outdoors?
I'm not sure we'll do that, but I guess the other issue, Than, is just talk about the challenges in New York. And I know you've looked at some buildings, and then maybe post-COVID we thought real estate might blow up a bit to our advantage, but it's still a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, and I've been, I'm still getting inbound outreach from brokers and everything every day, asking about facilities because, what are the two easiest things in New York? Real estate and finance, right?
Two easiest things to make money
in. It's the best and worst place to try and do a thing like this, but. At the end of the day, we have infinite audience if we can get it done in New York. I think you're seeing that here at the American Dream, where there's a lot of people coming out and seeing the sport for the first time, passing by, getting sucked in. I've talked to a number of people just on the mezzanine level, going, I was here at the mall. What is this going on? And suddenly they're sticking around for a whole game and becoming fans. So it's such a great sport, casual sport, corporate event sport. Like, you can make this happen in New York. You can make it happen anywhere. To borrow a line.
Yeah, and we, a lot of our newer clubs in larger metro areas, say Denver, Raleigh, Durham, Charlotte, North Carolina. You have clubs like that are thriving. Phoenix. So I personally think, a curling facility in New York City. Fortunately, this end's pretty straightforward, so we'll just keep watching it here. But I think a curling facility in New York would do really well. I hope we can, help you convince others that it can be profitable.
Yep.
The other thing I'd say is, I always encourage clubs in your position to keep all options open, whether it's private enterprise, public-private partnerships, municipally backed, whatever it takes to get a facility done. Is important. And you're right, we've got a great group in Dallas-Fort Worth is moving towards it. Curl Vegas is underway, so it is possible, and I certainly recognize how challenging and difficult it is and appreciate people like you trying to make it happen.
Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, the Powerball option hasn't worked out quite yet, so we're still, actively looking for partners and just, it's community building, right? It's finding the way to tell your locality what a value add curling as a place can be for the community. I think you're going to talk to Don Pichet from Traverse City a little later today, and that was his pitch, right? It was, this is a place to bring your employees to have an evening out. This is an anchor of the community that is going to become a gathering place and an institution.
It throws me off like crazy.
And then you get tied right into national events and tourism. There's an economic argument. There's a cultural argument. At the end of the day, being inside the house, I want some good ice to play on.
I will say it's on our agenda at USA Curling to help develop some materials and work to promote that. Michael Cantor's down at NC State did a study that I think has some value for that, about the value of curling in a community. So it is on our agenda. We've got to get through this week and a few weeks of our championship season, but and certainly some of these things, we reach out to the curling community and to people like you to help us put things together that will be helpful. But it's going to be big, and I agree with you. Communities need to understand what value a curling facility can bring.
And I think all of this work is just additive to each other, right? You just feel the sense in the sport that we're just waiting for this breakout moment in the U.S. scene, where new facilities popping up all over the country. Even during the last 3 years, there was almost 10, 12 new facilities
a number of new facilities, and nearly all have done really well. So there's a case study to be made. So as we just watch Team Connolly with an unfortunate miss there, now Casper lies 3. But appreciate all you do, Than, and glad to hope that maybe having this event here in the tri-state area helps your efforts a bit, and talk again soon.
Thanks, Dean. Appreciate it.
Line's good.
It didn't seem like a lot.
Line's good.
Top 4.
Little room. Line's good. Chase
good.
is rock.
My rock.
Chase is rock. Line will be
There
fine.
right now.
14.
So we'll welcome Stevie Berkland back into the booth. There's a fairly straightforward end here, except for
It's there, 14 flat.
that last miss there.
Yeah, I was interested to see, Connolly's first corner guard slipped into the rings, and Casper obviously hit it, and Nick gave up immediately and went straight for the hit, and I think that's kind of a recipe for getting forced a lot of the time. They're just going to trade stones all the way through the end, and they need to make a double to get a blank at that point, and there's never a deuce going to happen. So I was really surprised, especially with a 2-point deficit, they didn't just throw up another corner and kind of, keep the risk profile high, because they have to. They can't just trade stones anymore.
Tend to agree there, and also you blank here, you almost have to blank again in 7 or go hard in 7. If this was to have, try to have hammer in 8 and 10 when you're trailing 4-2.
Yeah.
Bit tighter path.
Top 4.
So we'll let people
Always
at home
straight.
debate that
Top
strategic
4.
decision over coffee
close.
if they're
Top 4.
out in the West Coast.
Yeah, it obviously wasn't an even odd end thing, because this is an even end, right? But,
Correct.
But it was, I think it was just a moment where
Yep.
maybe the frustration got to Nick a little bit. He just kind of was like, ugh, this end's not going the way I want it. We slipped into the rings. Like, let's just give up and try again. But, I did that once at a national championship myself. We slipped in on a corner guard, and I nosed out through the end, and then all of a sudden skips rocks, and I was like, wait, we're getting forced.
I played with Heath McCormick. He told me one of the pieces of advice his dad gave him when he was younger was don't let emotions dictate your decision making.
That's right. They can definitely be a factor, but you don't want them to be the reason you make
Try to get like a flat
choices.
Just push this a little bit.
Yeah, let's just be careful about it.
Nick a little
I think
confused
this
about
nose
the
is
weight
fine.
that Evan threw, but it
let's
works
just go
out
for
pretty
nose.
well, groups.
Normal.
So here comes Danny Casper with his first here in the 6th end.
Yeah, it's a pretty good result, but at the same time,
Nose
like
is okay. Yeah. Normal
there's
weight.
not a lot going on for Connolly at this point. Casper is, even if he loses that yellow one, he saves the
then?
shooter. He's getting his force, and there's not a lot of risk for Casper at this point.
Yeah, Connolly was looking for the double, then maybe he gets a miss, and then maybe he does bring the blank back into play, or at least a hit and roll out, not a complete miss. But
it's always scary when when you are down 2, and from leads rocks, the best thing that can happen for the end is a blank. Is not what you're looking for.
Yep.
well, and it's also it gives Team Casper sort of an end off mentally, right? So
Yeah.
they get an end to play it pretty straightforward.
One less
Stressful end.
Yeah, that they have to kind of think about holding their lead. It's like, okay, well,
And
one more step closer to the finish line.
I've said this before, it's always nice to have either a game at this event where you get comfortable and you can coast, or a few ends. Because otherwise, you play a lot of ends and games where it's a lot of stressful moments throughout.
And of course, the last 5 minutes of our conversation or whatever, Nick is just going to drill this triple and get the blanket.
And we'll discount everything we've said.
Which is probably what you should be doing anyway.
I will tell people that this is a 9 a.m. draw. One thing we did this year was we offered the 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. ticket as one package here at the American Dream Mall in the Rink at the American Dream. We've typically haven't had big attendance in the morning, so we offered a package for 9 a.m. and the afternoon game. We are expecting we have a sellout of the mezzanine level, and we're moving towards a sellout on other levels for the finals and the semifinals.
Get out of there.
Well, triple didn't happen, and unfortunately moved that one, might shrink the scoring area just a bit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, now Danny gets to put one in the forefoot, and
Yeah,
Nick's
no,
got to
I
make
like
another
half
draw to
forward
the button
Yeah.
against 3.
We could be full four and
I think
still
we
be
want him to
shot.
hit, right? Because he can make a really nice drop.
Yeah.
So they're suggesting
thinking
they
if
can
you- if you
be
go, like,
almost full four and
four,
not
like just
force-
full four, he can't hit it. and
force
shot.
Connolly to
So,
draw
yeah,
for
there,
one and not
that's
hit.
what we want.
Yep.
I was giving Luke like.
Unless he
here,
wants to take on a double.
So I think there.
I like that. Just a little past center.
14-6. They swept pretty hard to like top 8.
Yeah. He released it weird though.
Okay.
It's a good feedback there. 14-6, but he released it weird.
That's why we're.
That's the technical term.
Yeah, so I'm going to guess maybe it was
More
a
than that. Half in the
little
fourth.
softer than normal. I don't know what counts as weird to Chase Sinnott when
Right.
he's watching somebody else throw. Danny Casper, his last stone here in the 6th end. He's got a 4-2 lead, trying to force Team Connolly and Nick Connolly to a single point.
Line's good.
Out there.
Okay.
At this point, that's the worst they could do.
Just half 4. Line's good.
Yeah, there's certainly an
Half fourth
opportunity to
foot.
steal as well.
Luke. 14-3. Just full 4. Curl if you can.
14-3, they think that'll be pretty close. They don't
Good.
want to finish it too
Good
much.
job, guys.
That is about perfect.
Yeah, well
Go the
done
same
by
way we've been
Casper,
going?
well judged. Wow.
That was 14-4.
Yeah, that's about
Middle
perfect.
Side, right? I don't know, either one. Either one you like.
At some point, Nick Connolly is going to grow weary of trying to draw the side of the button. He's made one, but
I mean, you threw it this way. You can make it this way. You can make it either
wants
side.
me to hit it,
Any
but
side you like.
Gotta make it.
I mean, it's the one you like. So you can either one.
We've made this like 3 times this game.
Good. We got it. We got it. You guys know
he's
it.
faced it
like this side
multiple
better?
times
That's right.
now. He's made it 1 out of 2, I think, right?
Yeah, for at least for the
this-
hammer shot. He missed it in the 3rd, made it in
Yeah.
the 4th. And
This is not a fun one, either way. I mean, this way you have
No.
that rock in the top 4 in your line of sight from the hack, and it's also Nick's in turn, so we'll have to make sure that he doesn't get a little more snap out of it than others would.
Yep. He's also because they've played this turn a few times, he's chosen this side, but it is the side with less real estate to draw to because this side of the center line is covered more by Danny's last draw. So he's given himself less room for error, but he feels that this is the one that he's more likely to make.
Connolly, last shot, 6th end. Needs another good draw.
I threw that one, so it's a little wide.
Lot of room. Lot of room.
Got a curl.
Ton of room. Always got a curl.
Got a curl.
Got a curl, guys.
Should
Got a
always
curl.
finish,
Got a
so
curl time.
sweepers could probably go
Got a
if they
curl
need
time. Take a
to.
look.
These ones do need to get to the 4-foot line before they start to break, though.
Whoa.
Now
Got a
it's starting to
curl.
move. Still
Has
got
to
a curl,
curl.
they think. Has to
It's
curl.
coming in there.
Curl. You got it. You
Get
got it.
in
You
there.
got it. You got it.
Put it on the tee line.
Looks like it'll be a steal of one
One.
for Casper. They're going to look at the other, but I think it's just one. Sinnett's saying 1 yellow, so put it on the tee line again. He did, Nick Connolly, but I needed just a bit more than that. So that makes the score 5-2 here after 6 ends at the 2024 Men's and Women's National Championships from the Rink at American Dream in East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
We're back after that message from Twin Cities Orthopedics, a great sponsor of ours. Quick update from the other sheets. Schuster with a commanding 7-1 lead over Wendling. Dropkin still up 5-2. We'll give you an update there as soon as we have one. 5-2 here, our game, Casper over Connolly. And 8-4. Actually, looks like maybe it will be, still 8-4. We'll give you an update there. Dunham over Ethan Sampson from North Dakota. We're back here with Nate Perry throwing lead stone for Nick Connolly. Should mention the Twin Cities Orthopedics, a great sponsor of ours. We have a lot of things go on at Training House in Eagan, Minnesota. And Stevie, if you need some shoulder surgery or something, I hope you'll travel out to the Twin Cities to get it.
Perfect. Trying to avoid that myself, but
Yeah, but if it comes up, I got a creaky elbow right now.
Good
so
to
maybe,
know I got options.
Maybe when I'll be out in Minnesota next week, and maybe I'll pop in for
a quick surge.
Yeah, quick look at it and see what they tell me.
Bigger ad.
Line's good.
I'm going to say it's radial tunnel syndrome. That's my take
Line's
on
good.
it right now.
Line's good. Whoa.
So Connolly gets the corner guard up in this one, and we'll probably see them either come under it or throw another one. Yep, split corners.
Sinnott stacks on top of his first. Perry asked for another corner guard. Here's an interesting thing, Stevie. When I have a theory that teams that don't win much at a Nationals or any event usually have the lead with the highest scoring percentage.
You think so?
Yeah, because you throw a lot of these. You throw a lot
wide open corner guards.
A lot of corner guards with a lot of margin for error. I remember coming off the ice after a game that did not feel very good, and people telling you, "Oh, you played great."
I think I would agree with you if we're taking only the second half of game statistics.
Well, my theory is that you should that leads should be the percentages that matter should be first and second end and 9 and 10 maybe. It's the in between there gets a little fuzzy.
Percentages are also kind of a
Line's good. Get it tight.
a context barometer as well, because
True.
Teams with very conservative game plans are going to have higher percentages. And that doesn't mean they're playing better.
I would say if you play for Stevie Berklet or Heath McCormick back in the day, your percentage is going to be a little lower.
Yep. We had a Nationals where we, our team shot, I think, 65%, but every single game that we played, our opponents had their worst game of the week against us because we were just playing a more complicated, difficult game, and there were lots of 60% games out there.
It's a big one. I do like differentials in percentage. We are going to have
plus minus
shooting percentages when we get into the playoffs here. We're working hard to bring percentages back.
I think plus minus is a really valuable one. Flat percentage, not so much.
So Chris Bond trying to
everything. Hard.
Sound like a hard everything, never a very good call.
Keep going. Keep going.
Now they're saying it's a 3, and it's going to
try to freeze on it at least.
Get to nose of that yellow. So not a good result.
Kind of shot.
What, like this? I mean, this is makeable. I think it might be better to just.
I think it's better just to do that. Yeah, the red's not in. Firm.
It's just tough because, like, if you throw it hard, you're probably going into the yellow, which isn't terrible, but.
Okay, are we calling for the roll or the double?
The roll, you're probably only going here, which is fine.
Okay. I think that's
Normal.
fine. Yeah.
Firm. Thinking this way. Let's go this way. Yeah.
So a lot of conversation about this shot. They're looking for the twofer here, Steve. E?
Yeah, good. I mean, it's good conversation too. I like it's collaborative and nobody is like dominating the conversation. There's a lot of here are our options. What do you think this result is? Do we like that as a team?
Girl, 8.
And, input from everybody. So
that's fine.
My bad. Good throw.
So they roll right between everything.
Effectively just make the peel, which is, would have been a fine call if that was plan A, but they were trying to go for something with a little bit more upside, put some pressure on by rolling towards the center line.
It's interesting in that, a lot of people at this level, most strategy is collaborative among the top teams. Certainly the skip usually takes some lead role on it, but
yeah, it's indicative of good dynamics. When you have that conversation where there's input and no, it's not controlled conversation from the skip. It's just it's a discussion.
That was not the throw they wanted, and now all Casper advantage.
I think
you really needed
just top 12 in the way. It's
that
good.
to be in there and at least put some pressure on the Casper team. Now
they're so far ahead in this end, they're not even going to peel the corner.
Yeah, exactly. Now it becomes. Now they're starting to think about getting off the ice early.
Yep. And this is what happens when a lead of this
96.
size.
Well, that's good.
3
Little
points.
Ben's
in the middle
rock.
of the
Ben's
game.
rock.
The
Ben's
team
rock.
with the hammer is
Top
really
12.
going to press,
Really
and they're going
gotta
to play
curl.
more difficult
Top
shots.
12. Okay, wall then.
They have to, and so what that ends up resulting in is
really running.
a lot of big scores, to close out games. And it doesn't mean that they got blown out in the game. It just means that the pressure built to a point where they had to take big risks. And when you play 80-20 shots all the time, you're not going to hit the 20% very often, right?
I think we need hack. Little roll in's fine too.
So Violet maybe a little stronger than he would have liked. There was there naturally. You can hear Casper talking about slightly more weight and how it reacted. Now, Connolly's asked Workin to not play the double, but move these to the back.
Easy.
Yeah, just like a heavy draw.
Easy.
Hack weight-ish.
Close. Great shot, buddy. Beauty. Great throw.
Does push everything behind the T line.
I think it's probably still that.
And that's the opening that they were really hoping for.
He also knows that and double.
Can you make this?
Yeah.
Luke gave them a chance, and now it's kind of tricky to remove that redstone, actually. Definitely
11.
doable, but got to be careful.
11.
Yes.
We're sitting 2, right? Yeah, we're 2.
Do we ever double peel?
It's gonna go into here, which it might stick. I like that.
I think it's good. It'll clear backing too.
Half.
So they looked at just scraping the guard there to try to push that one out through the middle, but they're going to play this double peel, which could be a good scoreboard call, I think.
Yeah, I think this is the low risk option.
Whoa. Curl.
There's some bad stuff that could happen if they try to go after the red one at the top of the forefoot. This at least makes their next opportunity pretty easy.
Well, they don't move their yellow, which they kind of wanted to do.
Yep, that's true.
Love to get here somehow.
Could see a tap, yeah.
Yeah?
I don't mind that. Yeah, I like that. I like that, yeah.
Back 8, back 12.
Back 8, back 12, we said?
A little, nose is fine.
They're just going to try to move this red rock into a position that's unmovable.
Working with his second stone here in the
Close. Yep, straight.
7th end.
If they can get this to the backing.
Clean.
2 is
Curl,
really back in play.
Curl. Easy. Just clean. Line's great. Harden it, go hard. Go.
This is sort of an old school pre-free guard zone way to build an end. Push everything to the back.
Yeah.
And build some
Slowly
sort of wall.
but surely.
You could just nose it.
So we can give you an update. Handshakes over on sheet B between Dropkin and Ruin. Dropkin notches an 8-2 win. They get a early break. Always nice to have on the last day of the event, or the last day of the round robin qualifying games. And another game for the men tonight. The second men's session of the day is at 7 p.m. tonight. There's a women's session at 2 p.m. Schuster also with a commanding lead. He's up 7-1 over Wendling. So our first and second team, first teams in first and second place are distancing themselves at this point.
What's up, Luke?
Schuster Dropkin will happen tonight at 7 p.m. and that looks like it'll be the game for the one. Well, it'll be for the one position, I guess.
Yeah, those two teams are they're gonna play back to back. Basically, they're gonna play that game for seeding in the 1-2. They're playing an entire game for hammer in the 1-2 game.
Whoa.
But tune in, folks.
Curl.
Well, hammer in the 1-2 game is a big deal.
Clean.
Yep.
Clean. Curl.
Good.
Wow, well done by Casper, actually. He hit that exactly pretty much the best spot he could. I mean, there's still a 2 around here, but.
Cleared all the backing, though, and now
Yeah.
he's got one in the top of the 8-foot that's easily runnable. You know, if Nick noses this yellow one, then Danny's got a natural double. If he rolls under, then he's got the run double. So I think you're going to see Nick actually try to freeze.
Is he just going to play off ours then for a double, or? No, you're good. Yep, T.
I think we got to freeze.
And the hope for this freeze is
making the
eliminating
run
the
every time.
possibility of a double takeout, and then maybe Danny takes on a single run, and if he ever misses, now you can get 3.
The only thing about this is if we get that corner freeze really good, he just kills my rock that I'm throwing, and it goes into the other one potentially. It's not fine. It's awful. I think we want to freeze the nose. We want to freeze the nose. Can't be inside.
So I'm a big fan of Nick, and but I'm going to say the unzipped jacket, a pet peeve of mine, Stevie. It really burns me for some reason.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Too casual?
I've never seen a top curler who throws unzipped. It's jacket on or jacket off.
Airtight, always Nate. Always Nate. Always straight.
Straight.
Connolly.
Yep. Whoa.
Line's great.
Whoa,
No
whoa,
bounce.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Bounce.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Perfect.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa,
Straight.
Straight. Holy crap. Great throw.
So he gets right on the corner.
That's very good. He said he didn't want to be inside of nose, but I think that's exactly where he did want to be.
We're going to look at whether it
It's up there.
goes.
Well, we'd hit the underside, so it goes out, up. I mean,
That up?
yeah.
It's got to literally go up. Oh, it's still
Danny
shot,
Casper
right?
calls
I
down
think you
Luke
play
to have a
anyway.
look at it. Let's listen in.
Where do we got to hit? A third?
If you hit half, it's pretty close. Yeah. I think if we hit half, it's pretty close to making that. Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe.
It feels pretty
about
unlikely to
half.
me that they get both
Okay.
of these reds.
Yeah, Chase seemed to think it like. I mean, I think they have to hit it really thin to not come off the yellow.
Yeah, and if it does come off the yellow, I mean, the yellow one's half rock higher than the red. I just don't see it.
Of course, you don't want to play it too aggressively here either. Up 3, you really want to make sure one goes away.
Yeah, that's all that really matters. Just get one of them.
Yep. Hard.
So you're playing
Yes.
it for the upside.
Hard. Hard.
Casper doesn't like
Hard.
Good.
Mission accomplished. Despite some anxiety on the way down, and now Nick Connolly will have his easiest draw so far.
Full 8.
And you hear the rounds of applause for handshakes over on sheet A. So Schuster notches a win against Wendling, fully in control the whole time. So we'll look forward to finish the round robin with a game between the two teams at the top of the standings. And it sets up the playoffs for us.
It's funny, earlier in this end, we were talking about, Luke putting the game away, essentially, and that's just how big one miss can be when the other team can capitalize on it. And Luke came in 2 feet deep, 3 inches wider than he needed to be on his first one.
Really light. You gotta go.
Then
Come on, guys.
Connolly just
Looks real
completely
light.
took
Yeah,
advantage,
guys.
made 2 great
Come on,
shots
guys.
with
You got
Evan's
it.
Evan,
pair
help
and,
them.
Away.
and set up this deuce.
Connolly
Hard.
not in love with this
Holy
one.
guys, just need
Gotta
it.
be there.
Come on. Yep.
Jesus Christ, Nick. Hard, Nate.
It's
Hard,
close.
you're close. Hard! Come on, dude, go! Go!
Oh.
It's just an inch short.
Perry almost got it there. A great effort by the Brushers, but it does look like just one red. Connolly not happy with himself. Workin's going to take maybe do a mind meld and see if he can move that red just a fraction shorter, closer.
This is a exercise in optimism.
I believe so from here. It looks to me like it's just one red. Randy Zarnetsky, our official, wandered out there in case they want to put a stick on it. They're going to say just one red. So it's 5-3 after 7 ends in favor of Casper from the 2024 USA Curling Men's and Women's National Championships here at East Rutherford, New Jersey at the Rink at American Dream. And talk about Steve's Curling Supplies. For over 50 years, they've been America's #1 curling supplier, and they're proud to support USA Curling, and we're grateful to have them as a supporter. But no matter what your skill level or budget, Steve's has all the top products from the most popular brands in the sport. And right now, you can save $10 on any purchase of $100 or more when you use the code USACurling10 at checkout. Visit stevescurling.com. That's stevescurling.com for all your curling needs. We'll be back with the 8th end in just a moment. All right, we're back. 2024 Men's and Women's National Championships, the Rink at American Dream in East Rutherford, New Jersey, where you can get a Wetzel's Pretzel at the break. John Schuster with a 9-1 win over West Wendling. They seem to be finding their groove, as does Team Dropkin with an 8-2 win over Rich Ruinen. Our game, Danny Casper, well-played game, but Casper's up 5-3 on Connolly as we play the 8th. And Scott Dunham with a 10-4 lead on Sampson. I expect we'll see that handshakes there shortly as well. And I guess what we might see here, Stevie, is what happens when nobody else is on the ice.
Yeah, conditions change. It is nice when the main coverage game is the closest game.
Yeah.
it's always
broadcaster's
nice.
dilemma otherwise.
Exactly.
14-3.
I was talking to Sean Olson as we look towards the weekend and the ice conditions, and he's always a little happier when he only has to, when a few sheets come out of play, or 2 sheets come out of play, so that will happen as we head towards the playoffs. Not in the first round, of course, but after that. This is Nathan Perry.
Throwing up the second center guard here.
Line's awesome. Line's great. Hard, Ev. Hard straight. Hard straight. Keep going. Every inch, Evan, go. All the way. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Those two are a little closer together than you would hope for. There's probably going to be a relatively easy double peel.
Yeah, a little closer and a tiny bit offset. Both those factors make it a little easier.
Yeah, you really want one 2 feet over the hog line and 1 2 feet in front of the house and split the center so that there's no angle for the double peel.
Clean. Luke's rock, Luke. Go ahead, Luke.
There's certainly times in a game where the fact that guards are staggered is a good thing because it covers more area for you to get under. But in this kind of a situation, you do not want the stagger because it creates an opportunity for a double.
I love that thing.
Sinnott comes not quite to nose, but a little high side, so 12, Connolly will try to rearrange. I should add, mention Team Wendling out here playing this week. They'll be headed to the World Junior Men's Championship after qualifying through the World Junior Bs. Well done for them. Also, Ella Wendling, coached by Jim Wendling, and the brother of Wes Wendling. She picked up the bronze medal at the Youth Olympic Games with Banks Burrell. So congratulations to them on that. In mixed doubles play over at the Youth Olympic Games. And Ella was actually selected as the flag bearer for the closing ceremonies by her athlete peers.
That's pretty cool.
That's a great honor.
Really good, Chris. Beauty. Great shot, buddy.
7-8.
So here comes the double peel. Double peels win games.
Yeah, this'll clean up a lot.
Yep. Clean. Curl.
Go for the double.
Curl.
Need it to come up a bit.
Good enough.
Yeah, they get enough action to move it out off the center. It would cut off an in-turn draw maybe, but
Yeah, just
that's
on the side of
already
center.
something that's
Just
not
off
looking like
center.
it's going to be available, so you're not too concerned about that being cut off by that particular guard. But
Chris Bond, his second, 8th end.
2, 1, 1, 1. Gotta go. 1.
I'm guessing Team Connolly, they probably feel like this might be about as well as they played this week.
It's over.
yeah, Casper's just been really consistent with the pressure. They haven't had a lot of openings, and they finally got one last end, and Nick just wasn't able to capitalize. They came up literally an inch short.
And as often happens at these things, when you play your best game, you tend to run into another team that's playing its best game. So
Yep.
Casper's been sharp this game as well.
Clean. Good.
Yeah, Casper's record this week, 2-3, but that is not indicative of the team that they are.
Yeah, they came into this, ranked in the top 3 for sure. Dropkin, Schuster, Casper, not necessarily in that order, but that top 3 in terms of results on the this year on the ice.
I think all 3 of them were in the top 20 in the world, something like that.
Yeah, we've had more men's teams that ranked that highly than we ever have. But and then Casper won a Tier 2 Grand Slam event, which got them into the, I guess, the recently finished Canadian Open. I think that's what it was. But
yeah, it's got a curl.
that was their first Grand Slam. So
Good for them.
yeah,
Just barely cross center. It's curling. You're good. Don't have to curl. Shot.
for curlers who don't know, the Grand Slam is a series
Really good.
in Canada that features really the best teams in the world from all countries, but awfully tough when you're in those.
Yeah, no easy games in those things.
No easy games at all.
Clean.
No easy
Yep.
shots.
No,
Really.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Luke Violette
Clean.
playing the peel.
Good, Luke.
And you see them playing just the single peel here because that guard that's on the side, there's no reason to go for the double. The one that's on the left side of the screen is just not really affecting play very much. And if you did go for the double, it's at such a steep angle, you might actually hit it and jam one back towards the center line and leave the one you don't want to leave. So they're just playing it safe, just getting rid of one. They're happy with the situation as it is. They don't really need to catch up by making a double peel.
It's gonna go. It'll go.
Curl.
It'll go.
Help him, Nate.
It'll go.
Cross center.
Whoa.
Working, waiting it for
Really
curl to curl as it
Sit,
will.
Chris.
So the guard goes up.
Trade a couple of stones here until Connolly decides to make their move.
Clean.
Clean.
Yep.
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 Ben Richardson puts the brush down.
Yep.
No. Just kidding.
Good, Luke.
Redo this.
See what Connolly thinks.
Depends on what you
You
want.
think draw or hit?
I think this makes and makes. I think.
I'm
I think
guessing
play
he's
this
thinking
and
draw
go
or
to
hit,
the
Stevie. What do you think?
I think this
One
is
of the
good.
two.
Get that unguarded.
My inclination would actually be to freeze the back one.
Or even hit that. Or
Interesting. See if they discuss that. Let's listen.
Wing is in. Danny can just blast it and get 2.
Still get 2. I'm not sure if it's on or not.
This is a rough one.
Looks really close,
What
but
was it? Good thing I gave it that ad. I felt like it was a good slide, so the ad I thought was going to be heavy, but yeah.
Yeah, not fun to be forced to a wide open freeze.
Better ad.
Always
Easy.
Nate.
Easy.
Line's good.
Line's real nice.
Oh, running a hair. Line's really good now. Line's perfect.
Still Nate's rock.
Always Nate.
Doesn't
Always
need
Nate.
to curl.
Nate's rock.
Never curl.
Yep, straight. Always straight. Come on.
Lock it on, Care Bear.
Close to over curling, I think.
Yep, did.
That's a deuce.
They didn't take very much more ice than they did for his
Probably
draw.
I think we try to nose it with Peel.
You know, got all the way across the center line. I was surprised they only moved the broom out a couple inches.
So the thought is, as Danny said, just a dead nose gets him 2.
We try to
If you
nose
play the
this
dead
with
nose
Peel.
or the pick, the dead nose is a little more straightforward.
Yeah, you've got some wiggle room to roll to the right as well.
Danny Casper, last shot, 8th end, trying to put this game away.
Clean. Yep. Whoa. Girl. Good.
On the
There it
nose.
is for 2. They're going to take a look at that. Luke's not kicking it off yet. Connolly debating playing another end, but it looks like they'll go another end with 2 versus 3, but it is 7-3 playing the 9th. We'll be right back if there are no handshakes. We'll see if they play the 9th in a moment. Warm Room Hero is your intuitive curling club software. That's the
If they put this in the pocket, he might take on the double off the one on the center line. And if you're freezing the pocket, you're covering some of the one on the center line. So it's possible if Danny takes on the double, he might hit the one that Nick is throwing now first, and then you have a draw for 4.
Got some room. Got some room. Got room.
So yes,
Got
it's
room.
pretty
Good,
likely
Dale.
that Danny will make a double and you'll end up only getting 2.
Get a curl. Get a curl. It's got a
But
curl, Miles.
you got to think about what the potential upsides are when you're down
We got
this
a curl
much.
ton.
Unfortunately,
Pretty not great.
that is not a good
Feel
spot
so?
for a 10
Yep.
up.
Oh, Casper puts the broom down. Thinks he has this double
Think
wired.
half?
Yeah. Half to a quarter.
Half.
Really unfortunate thing for Connolly here is they might not even get 2 now because this double naturally sits in a spot where it'll be right in front of the other yellow
Right,
one.
locked in front of the other
There's-
yellow. You'll have to make a
There's no double for 2. Have to make a tough shot to score 1.
Clean.
And these are the kinds of doubles that are
Casper.
tough to miss.
Girl, you got it. Yep. Yep.
Can't really hit it too thin, so.
Yeah.
And there you go, as you said.
Gotta throw a little bit of weight. Yep. You think firm or normal?
I think firm here high, right?
Angle might line up to stick around.
It's weird
It's
throwing that much
close.
weight, but
3/4 with firm.
It's just another day, Nick.
I guess we gotta throw firm. Seems dumb, but
Casper, every call out of hand seems to be clean, so
No, it'll go.
that's
It
an
just-
indication
you
of
have
how
to
well
stick,
he's
right?
throwing it in this game.
Yeah, they're throwing the rock really well.
we made the shot as impossible as we could. It's very there, but we just made that so much more difficult for ourselves. Okay, firm.
Nick Connolly, his last shot, 9th end, trying to make a tough double and hopefully stick his shooter around for 2.
Yep. Oh, gotta go.
Yep.
All the way.
Up.
Hard!
Up. Hard.
Come on, Chris!
Hard.
Hard, buddy!
Go,
Get
go,
out.
Go, 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 all the way. Go, go,
Go.
go, 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 go.
Christ.
Just barely couldn't get it out.
Just gave it a go, but that'll be 1 for Connolly. That means it'll be 7-4 with Casper with hammer as we head to the 10th and possibly final end. Connolly's going to debate it. Workin's maybe reluctant, but no, there you go. Handshakes it is. So mark the final score 7-4 in favor of Team Casper over Team Workin here at the Rink at American Dream in East Rutherford, New Jersey. We're going to take a look at where the field sits at the moment. There we go. Here's the men's field.
Log jam.
Yeah, so Schuster and Dropkin. Schuster at 6-0, Dropkin at 5-1. They play each other this evening. That will be the game to determine who's the number 1 going into the playoff round, and then they'll play each other again in the 1-2 game. After that, you've got Casper, Dunham, Sampson, Wendling, all at 3-3. I'm not exactly sure right now how the evening shakes out between all those teams. Connolly at 1-5, and Ruinen, last game tonight, looking for their first win. So we'll be back at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central, with the final session of women's play here from East Rutherford, New Jersey, and the Rink at American Dream. Thanks for joining us. Hope you'll join us again at 2.